Hi, it's good to see you. See you. See you again. Yesterday was Shop Local Saturday, and since I can only drive the car legally for a couple more days, I thought, why not? I'd been thinking about getting a certain item for the boys' Christmas boxes, so I thought, why not? So I went down to the area of St. Louis called the Hill, which is where the Italian immigrants settled when they came to St. Louis. Many fine shops down there, many wonderful, wonderful restaurants. Everything from like a little corner thing, place where the way grandma used to cook, to five-star Charlie Ghettos where Frank Sinatra used to eat when he was in town. At Yogi Berra Park, named after Yogi Berra, a Major League Baseball coach and catcher, blah blah blah, who passed away this year. Nice place. It's a very nice neighborhood. So if you're in St. Louis and you're looking for some really nice Italian food, that's the area you need to go. So you patronize your local businesses on Shop Local Saturday, which I did. And then lately I have been very, very, very depressed. My car did not pass inspection due to some front end ill things, ball joints and tie rods and stuff. But that's the same issue that it had the last time the inspection. My brother came up from Georgia, rented a special tool, and I have the receipts for all the parts and everything, and he fixed all that. So does that break in 3 years' time? The ball joints and tie rods, does it break? Or is this guy trying to pull one over on me because I'm female? And that's what bothers me. It just burns me up that some people do that. Now, this is a system where you type in that the car failed into the Missouri computer system. So unless I get a certified mechanic saying, yeah, this stuff's okay, it's sound enough to drive on, I'm screwed. And I have to save up to repair all of it. So I'll be without a car. I guess if it was an emergency, I would drive. If someone was dying or needed your help, you're going to do what you can, right? And I've been watching a lot of videos about the time period I was 10 years old, but no, 1967. And I watched the monkeys and some other things that happened in that time period, and I just started crying and crying and crying and having the biggest pity party you ever saw. At that time is when a kid starts to grow up and starts realizing the world around them is just past mommy and daddy and grandma and grandpa in your house and your neighborhood. There's more to the world. And I have a narcissistic mother, and if I'd have known then that that was my situation, then I think I would have turned out differently, maybe. You're taught through actions and words that you're no good and that you don't amount to anything, and why bother, and accept the abuse, which I did for years and years and years until this March of this year. I've discovered that's what my life has been, and it's not me. It's the way I was uh, nurtured, if you can even use that word, to be. So that's my baggage, and I'm trying to get over it. And I don't know if one can ever get over it, but you can deal with it. And if you know what your problems are, whether they're health problems or mental problems or financial problems, whatever your problems are, if you can learn to recognize it, they always say that's the first step, which it is. So I'm dealing with all of that and all the stuff around here that I have to do. It just seems like way too much. It's overwhelming. There's a lot of things I need to try to sell. I have to figure out how to do that on eBay. Someone that watched one of my videos suggested that I try selling art, that my art is nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate the comment. It made me feel really good. I've always liked to draw. I've drawn ever since I was about 9 and 10 years old. Cartooning and scribbling. If you're on a phone conversation with me, by the end of the conversation, if you look at the paper on my desk, it's got scribblies all over it. And there are certain scribbles that I do depending upon my moods. Flowers, triangulars, things. Triangles are big in my scribbles. Sometimes I often wonder if I'm getting a message from somewhere else. I doubt it. It's just the way my brain's working when it works. I have a discombobulated brain. Some people call it ADHD. It's like all the nerve synapses are just wild, and the file cabinet in my brain is disorganized. It's organized but disorganized. Or when you go to open the information drawer for something, it doesn't always want to open. That's kind of how I describe it. And you learn behaviors and things, lists, putting things in a certain order, having total silence, or listening to classical music, or various things you learn to do to cope with this. And quote unquote normal people don't understand, and they can't understand. Someone that has a discombobulated brain needs to have things in order of some sort. A lot of times they almost get OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. But it's not really what I would call obsessive compulsive, but it's a way of organizing yourself very well to just be able to be normal. And I've really strayed off the subject, haven't I? Yes, I have. I can do that very well. Anyway, I will probably put up some kind of Christmas lights soon, because I think maybe nice little colorful lights might make me feel better. Not sure. And you might as well put them up for a while, because the longer they're up, the more you can feel better if they make you feel better. Now, my mom, when she was not bedridden, she used to have some Christmas lights up across the mantle all year, just because it made her feel better. I think she's got depression problems too. Some of it might be some kind of gene that runs in people's family. Probably. Probably. There's a lot of things that we don't really know about brains and stuff yet. In a few generations they'll know. Too late for me, but I'm trying to deal with it. Oh man, I try to be concise, and it's almost 9 minutes. Ah! I still have to make the chip clip thingies. Maybe I'll do that today. Upward and onward.